Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the PGI EU qualifier, and we just saw Red Zone able to take the first game of the day, and we're almost halfway complete here with the games to tally up who will be going to Berlin. Red Zone getting some much needed points, and as they mentioned, anything is possible. We saw Team Gates be able to achieve it over in North America, and who will take it here in Europe. To my left-hand side, once again, I have Toffees and I have Avenger joining me. Lovely gentlemen on the desk, and overall, a very good pickup there for Red Zone. But it was such a flurry of things that we actually saw in that first game to really get us started on day number 2.
Yeah, it kicks off right, and I think that you brought up Team Gates, who walked away from North America, and I had the pleasure of sort of getting to see him do it. And one of the keys that they talked about was it's all about consistency and waiting for your chance to get the chicken dinner. So, Red Zone has had a rough start to the day. They got a chicken to start to the weekend, I should say. Great start to today.
Correct.
Got their chicken dinner, and I want to see them start playing for consistency, some top 4s, and maybe one more chicken dinner this weekend, and they could actually find themselves moving all the way up the brackets to 5 or higher.
Well, let's check in with those standings, in fact,
Okay,
as we do have those 20 teams racking up the points now. Team Liquid, for all intents and purposes, they got themselves quite a few points from that 5th spot, so still very much so in the lead. But look at who is number 2. Pittsburgh Knights with 1,765. A little bit unexpected there for me, Avenger.
No, not that unexpected for me. We talked about it here in the beginning. I wanted to see them adapt to the 20-team meta. They got
okay.
They're able to do it. They're amazing fraggers, but they haven't been able to adapt just yet. I feel this is a beautiful picture of it. The last the game today and the last few games yesterday really showed that. I think if they keep on fragging out and keep getting consistency, we will see a win from them today as well.
Looking at the standings overall, it feels like there was a real big shake-up here just because of the volatility of our first game, right? With teams like Blank going out in 12th, they needed to be as consistent as they were yesterday. They were unable to do that in this first game, so they've fallen down a little bit. Likewise, so has teams like Method, and we've seen a bit more shake-up coming up to the top 10.
I cannot overstress the importance of understanding day 1 to day 2 when it comes to these LANs.
Yeah.
LAN jitters, first time out there for a lot of these teams, those things come into play, and they make day 1 wins important, but they also make it harder for those teams to sort of repeat on day 2 and day 3. So I expect we'll see some of those top teams continue to slide down, and we'll see some new heavy hitters work their way up. I think Knights is now in their groove and are going to keep climbing that because they look like they were out to prove something and get the kills to do it.
Let's complete our 11 through 20 as well. As you can see, Team Red Zone has got themselves a sizable amount of points to be able to push them back up here. Any other thoughts from our 11 through 20, boys?
For me, Grow Up as well, being able to get in 12th position. If they get a very good game running, we've seen Chronix. Yes, he is by far their star player. Freddy also doing very well. Honestly, if they get a good game running and they have a good position to do it, kind of like the Red Zone game we saw here, I think they will be able to put themselves into the top 10.
Anyone has an opportunity?
I think Atlantis is in the same boat. I think they've got an opportunity to move up here. We've seen them do some rotations. They're in that sort of rogue house where they've had some tough times getting out of military, but it seems like they've adjusted into using boats and some late rotations and stuff. They just happen to run into a lot of trouble on that west circle. Give me an east circle, and I think Atlantis performs well.
Yeah, definitely. There's the potential there. They always have access to boats if they're going to be going to Novo, usually at least. So let's start talking about our second game of the day, and let's talk about our next team that is coming up, of course. It's Red Zone.
Hey.
Red Zone that have been able to take themselves that win off the back of that. And that is something for them that we heard it in the interview. They feel a little bit more confident and a little bit more responsible from day 1 to day 2 because they went back and were able to review so much.
They did. They went back, they did their reviews, but they kept it light. I saw them at breakfast. They were having a good time. They ate as a team, and they joked around. They weren't sort of caught inside of their heads. They know they have to play their game, and they have to stick to it. I also love these guys as an all-Swedish team. They communicate in Swedish while they're playing, and they like to have a lot of fun. In fact, they joke. I asked Frost, like, what's your biggest weakness? And he says, my driving is absolutely terrible and why we lose every game.
Well, he wasn't wrong for a while.
They weren't wrong. And I was going to say, like, it's time for them to stop. I mean, they've practiced their driving. They've practiced their rotations. But it's time to stop worrying about buckling up and start to buckle down and play aggressively, play for those position wins. And they're starting to do it as we saw in Game 1.
So the standings we also see here, they were 17th before this game. They're 11th now. They had 14 kills only.
Yep.
They just got 50% more kills in one game, which is very impactful for them as well. And as you said, for us as driving, it's kind of been a on the competitive scene of PUBG, it's just known as a meme. And it's kind of sad, but I think he has improved because some months ago, let's just go back to Oakland, for example. It was very rough for them, and they suffered from that.
And I will say, they did tell me that while everyone else was training, they were celebrating Midsummers, which I guess is a holiday in their part of the world.
Yes.
So they did feel like they might have a slow start here, and I guess that proves to be true, as it took them about a day to get themselves their feet under them.
Have you ever celebrated Midsummers?
I was in a Midsummer's Night Eve once.
That's not. No, that doesn't count. I know we're in a theater, but that does not count.
It was celebratory, I suppose.
Were you swimming in a lake? Absolutely not. So you didn't celebrate Midsummers.
Is that literally part of that celebration? Swimming in a lake?
Yeah, it's great. Bonfires and swimming in lakes.
Sounds kind of like the 4th of July in the States.
And the other thing about this that they celebrated midsummer in Sweden is that they have been drinking so hard for those 3 days.
Wait a minute.
So they didn't need to go out drinking yesterday after their terrible performance. So they could focus on reviewing VoDs and everything. So they could just stay at the hotel, not get too much drinks and everything. But let's see what's gonna happen today, though. After today.
I don't even know where to go with that.
I mean, it's typical Swedish. I mean, I was in Midsummer when it happened, and I asked Frost, so how are you doing and everything? I'm out celebrating Midsummer. I'm getting absolutely bashed.
Absolutely bashed.
Yes.
You heard it here first, folks. At
Bashed
the
there,
PGI
bashed
EU
on the panel.
qualifiers. Let's move on from Midsummers.
You brought it up. It's not my fault.
I didn't bring
You
up
opened
Midsummers.
the bottle
I
of
asked
Midsummer.
if you'd celebrated Midsummers. I used to live in
Alright,
Finland,
Aguilera.
and I did it as well, and it was a very nice time.
Yes.
There you go. The sun doesn't set, basically, when it comes to Midsummers over there. Or maybe for like 1 or 2 hours. It depends where you are, I suppose. But there
How
you go.
northern you are.
How northern you are. Yes,
We
that's
learned
correct.
so much in these panels.
Well, I mean, you're American, so your geography lessons. Yeah.
Why are you going to bag on me?
I don't know. Do you know where Scandinavia is?
It's in Scandinavia.
Oh.
It's in Europe.
Oh.
I don't even know
Let's
what's
get back to
happening anymore.
PUBG. Let's do that. Let's get back to PUBG. Going into game number 7, after we saw a very well-versed circle, people know how they're going to be going for these kinds of plays and stuff like that. Who do you think dealt with it best? In my mind, I thought that WTSG, aside from them being pushed from those positions by Liquid, by FaZe, I think that they really seized the opportunity well to take the most powerful defilades.
I think they played it very well. They went to a 2-2 split in a really nice manner. We saw Miracu get knocked on transition by Scoom when he moved forward with the 2. Immediately, Larson's partner saddled up on the bike, went to do protection during res. So they were doing this kind of like really good team play. And then anytime somebody launched, Larson had to join the rest of his team. They immediately started cover fire on Liquid before he even deployed. Not intentioning to knock anybody, just to make sure they kept their heads down. So they're communicating much better today.
I think also them having 3 guys on the radio tower and Larson being in the only the harshest position to lurk. Larson was literally in the dip on the west of the radio tower, which is basically where you breach the radio tower from, unless you're not defending the north and the east, where Liquid and FaZe come in from. So posting him there, very clever choice. I love it, especially with the zone pushing west. I think he could rely so much information, making sure that they could protect the north and the east, which was the most important position for them to cover as well.
Well, thank you very much, guys. I know that we got a lot done in this desk, not only analysing PUBG, but also real-life festivities. We're going to head over to the commentary team here now for game number 7, as Lauren and Rich are going to take it away.
Yeah, thank you so much, and always good to hear, the in-depth analysis we get brought through here.
A northerner, a Dane, and an American.
It's a weird combo.
It's a good setup, isn't it?
It's a bit special. A little bit.
I mean, I can kind of relate to James because we're kind of both beyond the wall, at least.
I don't know. He's a Blizzard boy. He's a good boy. He doesn't drink. Look at him. He's buttoned up. Top all of that. Surprised he's not got a bow tie on.
I'd love to hear him when he goes home, though. I'd love to hear the voice change.
No. He doesn't.
It's gonna happen, surely.
I don't. He's dropped it. He's dropped the accent. None of it.
It's a bit weird how many ginger northerners there are in esports.
Once you've been down in King's Landing for so long, I mean,
That's
you lose
cruel.
the accent.
That's so cruel.
Oh, he's waving at me with one finger. That's funny.
Means
Anyway.
I got one hand at least, so
Woo! Anyway, we are in the game. At least we're keeping ourselves amused over here. Thank you again for joining us online. I did appreciate any of the memes that you put in there very early. And I want some more creative ones. I want the, spam this thing to help this thing. You know what I mean? I want this. Can you guys can do that in Twitch chat for me. I'd thoroughly appreciate it. But we can start talking about the game. It's from the south to the northwest.
rock and roll. Pretty much about 25% of the map covered by this plane. People who may struggle, who will be slightly later. Any teams that want to go Kameshi kind of way, stroke Stalber, Yasnaya, You're probably going to see a vehicle coming out of phase or two, potentially, unless they get the long drive. In fact, phase, they're going early, so they're now on the floor of Sosnovka Island. I would expect them to just bomb it across that bridge and just belt it straight home back to Milton Power. The circle does come in. The first one is actually smack bang in the middle of where the plane went. So
That's fun.
with these kind of circles, what you expect, obviously, you do have teams that still have to make their way to it, but generally speaking, it'll be a bit quiet, or at least that's what you would expect.
Okay, so the big storyline for me is I haven't liked FaZe's rotation so far. I was kind of talking about it when I went backstage after the first game. I don't like the way they're playing the hill these days. I don't like how they're playing off it, especially with the circles that sit towards the kind of western coast. This is a different circle, keep in mind. This probably won't be the same sort of thing. But I want to keep tabs on how they approach this. I think that their rotations have not been as perfect as they once were. I think they used to be very good at that, and I haven't seen that here today. I'm hoping that's an adjustment that could come through. Outside of that, though, I want to see that circle go a little north. I want a little bit more north going on.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think it'd be good.
I'm bored of Gatka Field, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I mean, when you look towards the north, there's a lot more variation of hillsides. It's very ditchy and very bumpy, especially when you get towards that plane crash kind of area. There's so much terrain that you can kind of bank off of. Speaking of FaZe, then, I mean, from this one, we've seen them do it before, especially with those very northern circles, but mainly when they're a bit more central. We have seen them run the complete and utter coastline and go all the way up to the top and bank around the back end and the arse end of Stauber, to be honest. So you might see that. We'll kind of watch how this one does unfold. Early little engagement coming off from Fake. 686 in hand. He knows where the fish is swimming. That should be an insta. 1-2. Thank you.
Ouch.
Oh, wait. He drowned.
So
He
you
didn't
don't even get the
points. Omega lol.
That sucks. Slowed down looting just for that. You're like, all right, cool. But again, was it? I'm wondering who dies first here, because we've had Copenhagen Flames being.
It's going really bad for them, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not. I can't put my finger on it because individually
They're good.
they're really
really
bloody
good players.
players.
Yep.
You know, I mean, Pony Rider's been with these guys for a little bit of a while.
Yep.
You saw Feverish come off the back of playing for Alliance. That wasn't too long ago.
Yep.
They scrim. They're in Hot Drop.
They're
really
good
good
players.
individual fraggers.
Yeah. I don't know. This is gonna be a fun one to see. Let's see how people approach this. We are seeing a couple of players just getting to looting positions. We saw the early exchanges. Nothing too much to write home about. It's more kind of the first circle rotates coming through, just seeing where people go to. Do they kind of instantly bank on the northern side? Are they still considering the southern side of this island? Do they still feel it's going to go south of Everest, the mountain, whatever you want to call it? I'm wondering. Again, we kind of know how these circles work to a degree. They have to have certain aspects to them, but beyond that, I don't know. I think there's teams who are playing them very well at the moment, and Method going for a little bit of a different approach. I don't see them in that early 2-2 split here. Last time, we saw them very quickly putting players out towards looking for position. They may not have just found the loot that they want to just yet. I'm pretty sure this is the drop just to the north of northern Georgia Pole. Kind of in no man's land between Zaki. So this isn't bad at all. Groza, obviously any 7.6 rifles right now are very much in vogue. They're looking very good for themselves. Outside of that, though, I want to see who gets the early fights. We've got a couple of teams taking some shots en route through. I think that's probably around Gatka. I think those are the shots that I just saw.
Yep, hearing some bullets in the background, so we'll bring that up and see if we can see what kind of engagement's going down. It's going to be Blank getting a probably what was a warning shot. However, it was the AKM. You can see it is Jambaway does have that with the red dot on there. Plenty of meds in the bag. Level 2, I think. I'm looking at
Helmet,
the screen.
not vest.
Yeah, level 2 helmet, level 1 vest indeed. Aros, though. So this is a... Ooh.
Oh, that nade could be fun.
Yeah, he's half health as well, and he's tagged him in the head.
That's a shot and a
That's a
half.
bell of that, isn't it?
That was beautiful, forcing off the angle with the nade. I don't know if he just fancied the peak or he felt that he had to move because of the nade, but that's going to be a confirmed kill every day of the week. So that's a big pickup. And the other side of Wizards, they are not having an easy time. They've got pressure everywhere. Wizards are already down to 2. They have slowed down Method, but there's not much to be played with here for them.
So helmet on, so he's been tanked up himself as well. Either that or didn't find one. He'd been very, very unlucky. 2 down already. It's not good to lose them back to back. And there won't be too much in these yellows as well. I mean, you can barely get one from one single player. Singularity again, getting tanked up as they go on their rotation. Kar98 on the back, AKM in hand. I'm not seeing any scopes whatsoever, so the range necessarily won't be there for him. But still, 762 out of his mind. That's going to be a 2-2 on the old vest and helmet. So laughing to at least take a battle if he needs to. Further afield then, I think the interesting question when it comes to fighting, Liquid, Knights, FaZe. You're even going to have an alliance in there who could play small.
Texas spraying in with that 4 times on. Not too easy on the Scar, but switch up the 1 taps. Just again, this is just showing presence. Obviously, you're hoping you get a kill, but it's a lot of just trying to keep area as your own. You don't want to kind of have people rolling up on you. And look, you can see the gear he's working with. The gun's great, but then no vest, only level 1, so you're pretty squidgy.
Budget helmet. The budget helmet. That's the thing. It is budget. You put a round in it, and it's cracked. It's unfortunately
it's
gone. I mean, 30% reduction compared to when you're looking at 40% and then 55 for the level 3.
People
the
forget
jump
about
is
damage
huge.
reduction. I think it's a huge factor, again, that you have to be aware of. Obviously, you're like, oh, I die so quick when I have level 1s, but it is the damage reduction that comes in.
I mean, we spoke about this a few times on previous broadcasts, next fight survivability.
Exactly. You have to be aware of, like, how long can I sustain with this versus how many shots will I be able to receive. It's a fine balancing game. I think a lot of people get it wrong.
You got to weigh it up.
Yeah. We'll see if that comes in. If we see, I guess, a good example of that, we'll discuss it. Now, is this an early play from Method? This is interesting. Now, Method have gone to the hill very early on here. We've seen a couple of teams vie for this. I think they'd kind of toyed with the idea before, but they hadn't fully committed to it to this standard, but they were the first on the hill. So quite central to the current circle. So once that shifts, they're in a good spot for it. But we are seeing a bit of not necessarily a bridge camp, but Rogue splitting over early, and they could catch Atlantis making their way over, because it's unlikely you go East Bridge, because one, it's further to traverse, and you know that there's a lot of teams playing on the way over. So you kind of sit the western side is more slightly safer, and it plays better for the circle, gives you more time. But that could mean they get caught out here. 8C hoping for a bit of a miracle. That's very close by though. Dave the Crazy slays down 1. That's a big loss early on, and that's a lovely upgrade on loot if you need it. But beyond that, they're sitting pretty nicely here, and they're so aware. Great work from Dave, expecting the next flex angle and the next point of pressure to come back in from the other side.
Looking around because they're expecting more. He was slowing down into this Watertown area. Waterworld, Atlantis, whatever you want to call it. You'd expect to be driving so close, you were looking to take position here, and it is. It's not quite dead center, but it's heading that way, so it's a decent place. You're also going to see a lot of teams actually rotating this way, so they have to be careful. Liquid is still looking for an entrance point into this factor. You've got Samty up at the top with a partner. They've actually gone across the higher bridge out of Yasnaya across the pond. They have to be aware of Alliance rotating down from Severny. They can stay there forever. Alliance should be absolutely geared out of their mind. One of the players from Knights did go early, so he's already in the fray in the fight. The rest of them will follow through. Pachinki, all that bottom southern end. It's basically a massive entrance. I mean, look at how congested people are in the center.
You don't want a congested massive entrance, Rich.
I don't know where to go with this one, but we'll carry on going with it anyway, and I'll take your word for it. FaZe are now on the rotation as well. Moonwolf will be following them from behind. You could potentially, I mean, you look at Knights already, they're taking position on the Potato Hill. They might actually dump their vehicles. They're going to cross paths, actually, which could be interesting, whether or not they take a couple of bullets to one another. I'm still looking for this, what you called them earlier on, this Atlantis push. You look at Rogue, they're down in the ferry pier. It's not really like them to wait on bridges, so to speak. They like to get involved in the fight. They like to go not necessarily centre, but at least get inside the circle. So they're clearly waiting here for a reason.
Yeah, they've either got the read on Atlantis. They might have watched some demos. They might, well, I say demos, I mean, you could have watched yesterday's games back. They could have maybe had that read that, oh, okay, when this circle hits, they generally tend to go for this approach. So this could be that sort of case happening here. Atlantis aren't in a mad hurry. It looks like they're taking their time picking up the vehicles en route. And it depends if Rogue stay that patient. They may not want to stick around that long. They might start trying to traverse towards the northern side of the petrol station, work their way over. But they're going to see it now. Again, it's a horrible thing. As soon as you start to move, obviously the other team crosses over. So in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, we're safe. But then, wait, no, here comes the other side. So this could be one of those moments where they do get caught out. But again, if you are one of the teams in the south, you know you're not going to be sitting down here for all that long. It's very likely you're going to have to shift slightly further north. Hence why, obviously, a lot of the teams have got these positions up there. Beyond that, let's keep eyes on FaZe and their rotation routes. This is something that I was curious about, if they get away with it or if they get caught up on it. They're quite late to this time. They won't be able to get that complete freedom towards the hill that they've had before. Big Swing Method are up there. There's a lot of teams in their way.
The balls on FaZe to do this is ridiculous.
Yep.
Literally going central. They know how late they are to this party. They know this area is going to be full of people. The Knights are already coming under fire from the hillside, smashing away with the Scar. It's not finding its target, but it'll certainly do damage to the vehicle. And that's the thing you have to remember in the back of your mind. Okay, you might not tag these players up individually, but every single bullet to that vehicle knocks the durability down and makes it become even weaker Fuzz flips the bike. Unfortunately, he goes down. That's going to be Pig Gut from Wizards. Vector rips him in two. That's rather unfortunate for FaZe. We called the late rotation.
Where are they
Unfortunately,
going?
we have
Are they
a
going up
punishment
to the
for it.
mountain again? Or are they going to sit at the bottom this time? I'm wondering where they go for, because I don't know if Method are going to open up on them early to deny this or kind of ward them away. They have gone for kind of bottom of the hill, similar to before, but I think there's a couple of shots going towards them. I can see the tracer fire on the map from Method. That could be going their way, and now here we go. Copenhagen Flames. Can they get... Oh no, Bjorn, he's under fire, not again! He goes down. Surely they're not going to be the first team to fall this time around. Surely not! Oh, maybe it is. They've already lost one player. The others aren't too far away. And then Robin AK looking like he wants a bit of the action here. Spots out another one, jumping on the peaks. It gives you a little bit of information for free. Jazz has had a bit of a mare there.
Run his teammate over. It's rather unfortunate. We've not seen it happen, but then again, anything can happen in these. You can jump out of there, you can get run over them. They do rock and roll. I hope Fever doesn't die here. I mean, from the previous one, you can't sit there spraying like a bad
I love
man.
this.
Split.
Aggression.
Yep.
Get in their faces. You know, they're holding a singular angle that can be very hard to define. The problem is they don't have information on the other players, so there could be a position they're watching to hold the push-up, which is the next big thing. So Robin right now, going to be holding this. Just pick up the loot. He's got support there. Freddy eyeing up the opponents, just be tapping away. Suppressed on that, so it's beautiful work on the 416. Looks like a vert grip on it too, so you actually get some real nice accuracy.
I think that's a stock on the back of it as well. So Balafin extended mag, fully geared up. I think it's a 4 times to boot. Happy day, straight off the bridge. Deeg smashes him with the silenced SMG. And now he waits patiently 6 times on the back of the minute. Hoping for some more action. That's a big one. Texas, the bad man himself, he goes down, gets knocked off the back. Fever, though, is going to answer back. That's a double.
That's what you need, Fever. Trying to avoid any of the loot that he now wants to pick up. Probably avoiding trying to shoot the helmet, so he gets that instant upgrade. He might just have a level 1. You can see him switching over to the Scar 6 times. He's got it all. That's looking nice. Now, FaZe actually opted for a different position here. Now, I'm happy with that. I'd rather see them not go for those hill fights. They've gone for I like to call it the 4 stack of doom, even though there's not 4 houses there. It just looks like there would be. It's a really nice place to catch anyone transitioning north to south or south to north. It's a beautiful spot, very hard for players to kind of work around, and you can safely put vehicles in there too. It's very hard to take those tires out. You have that small wall around it, and you have the 3 buildings in that position. And they've split one man over towards the Wizard Tower.
Because you've got the Harry Potter, you can just look and use that for information. I mean, I'm used to calling it Qs myself. It's really a bottleneck. I think it's the best way to do it. It's such a bottleneck. Hello. This guy's gone for a burn. See you later,
back, please.
But it's such a bottleneck position because it's a crossroads, because you've got the bridge. FaZe, they're not quite central, so they're going to hope the circle does move a little bit more towards them. Anything can happen with this one. If we go towards Georgia Paul, I mean, it's going to be a bloodbath because those really tight...
Look at this.
Wow.
But the thing is, with
West
these
Town
fights
is
as well,
full.
you've got to say that it's a lot of posturing here. It's not necessarily engaging, so you've got to be careful that to not get it into your head. That's a lot of fire coming in. Ewan delivers, and the Atlantis side. Rogue set up for them earlier. They didn't catch him then, but they might just catch him now, and yeah, we go.
I definitely saw him fall, so that's a knock. So that's 2 back-to-back, and one of them might have been because he potentially fat-fingered it.
Maybe.
That's a feels bad, man.
Uh-oh. Oh, speaking of feels bad, that's horrible. Atlantis. Oh, the 180 turn. What is that? How did... why did you just present yourself on a plate? I don't know what happened there with that final kill. Flee real fast. Where the hell did that go? You can see him looking around like, no, I don't want to go back there.
That really
That's
hurt.
the Badlands.
That really hurt. The blood just appeared. You saw the bullet in the back of his head. It's going to give him a headache. Unfortunate for Atlantis, literally 1, 2, 3, 4 simultaneously dead. The first team to be eliminated.
Richard, Copenhagen Flames, they've made it.
Oh, wow.
They've made it.
They're not last.
They've only gone and done it.
Come on, boys.
Can't believe it.
I mean, credit to Fever for picking up that double. That's huge to stay alive in that scenario, especially when you've lost your teammate to take on 2 and get that one back. That's big for them. But it will come down to West Town, East Town, if you're at the back. On back 6 of Georgia Point, you're looking at it from that angle, but generally when we look at the map, yeah, it's going to be kind of busy. Very, very busy over here. And the circle does go a little bit more northern.
Ooh, I like this circle. This is nice. You can. I was about to say, I love the position that you're looking at Liquid in. WTSG are there as well. This kind of hillside that plays. It can be a death trap. This is the infamous Scoom moment. If you guys were watching back in Oakland a long time ago, he got that ridiculous clutch at the end. So if it ends around there, you know that's kind of Liquid's home territory to a weird degree. But the M16 is not ideal. Oh, what? No, he didn't beat up his UMP that did. But the shots aren't bad hit. There it is. That's some sexy PUBG. I'll give you that.
Finds 2. And more importantly, be able to take their gear. Silence comes out, and all of a sudden sounds like he doesn't even bother walking away. He's just accepting his death. Rather unfortunate, both of them off the bike. They did turn it. I think it was a bit of a panic turn. He heard the bullets, like, oh god, we need to turn. And unfortunately, it didn't pay off because it did stall them. But we have this fight going down on the opposing side of the bridge.
Red Zone's positioning is really good as well.
1, 2, 3, 4 teams all banking off in South George at the end of the bridge. For Singularity, this could be just... sorry, excuse me, Eleganton on the opposing side, a complete shooting gallery if all those teams just make their way across.
Uh-oh, Lockwood's gone down. Rogue are being... This is great for Rogue as well. Yeah, Jambaway's gone down too. This is big for Rogue, considering the Blank and Rogue aren't far off each other. Being able to take out the opposing side like this, really good for them. So that's excellent work from them. But now they need to realize, oh, how do we get into the circle? We've just screwed them over. We are seeing the fights towards the northern side. FaZe!
2 players.
This is a problem. FaZe might be being destroyed here. Is that them done?
No, there must have
There has to be one more alive.
There has to be one left crawling
Surely.
around.
Where is he?
He's outside, it's
There,
Jempty.
Jempty. All right. Again, these rotations
Wow.
are not good for FaZe here. They're being punished a lot. I'm not used to saying it because they're such a good side. They're so good at this. But you can see that condensity towards that hillside. This is what I was talking about, why it's such a strong position. You get really nice high ground off the back. You get good vision off the back. You can define either side of it. It has a lot of room to work. There's Andy coming in towards Alliance, who also haven't had the hottest start. But this is what you want to see from Andy, aggression. This guy is an animal when he gets going. So we want to see more of that.
In the compound, he's going to try and confirm this kill. He knows where he is. Obviously, he can't go through because of the bars in the window, but there is a grenade there. It's like, you know what? 15 points and we want it. We look across to Rafi's POV to see someone flying through the air from the opposing side of a Zako Balls. Chris does get the kill. Reels goes down. Alliance hands 15 points to the side of Method. But we're getting to this point where teams are starting to crunch in to one another. I mean, look on the opposing side. We've got another kill as well. That's Mazalius from the team we were just talking about, so he probably arrived a little bit late game to the party. Jempty, all comes down to the FaZe. Surprising scenario.
Fever! There we go.
3 kills for the last.
There's the flames. This is what I like to see. Now, obviously, you guys at home, you guys in chat. Got back to that because just made the boat bounce, and Jazza does get punished. He was shooting people out of boats as well. Yannick's just like, oh, he's just not. He doesn't want to leave. He's happy here. He's got a nice little paddly pool. But you guys at home, you guys in chat, you guys are opinionated. You're the smartest people out there. You get 20/20 hindsight. You get it all. Use that hashtag PGI 2018 and tell me who's going to win this game right now. I want to check timestamps. I want to see receipts. I want to see who you think has got this. You see the positions. You see where they've rotated to. I want to understand it. This is what I was talking about, that hillside. It's beautiful, and look at that circle. Liquid slap bang in the middle. Now, problem becomes they could become the beacon of attention for everyone. Knights aren't far off. You've got Red Zone there. You've got Penta there. You've got to be careful. You don't want to give it all away.
You asked for it, Lauren. A northern circle, and we've got it. But we're still going to have a lot of field work. Dove and Calvin Klein knocking out Fred and confirming the kill. So Singularity, they're only down to 2 players. We're still picking up 1 kill and getting advancement on the board. You can see the Knights, though. Voxic, he's just spraying wildly out into the open. That's going to be onto Jempty, so they see where he is, and I've just seen a connection there. So he's going to be tanked up. Jempty, the last remaining member of FaZe. Imagine if the world's best team went out in 19th place in this game. It would be surprising more than anything.
I'm liking Red Zone here as well. They are up for the fight. You can see them confirming kills. This isn't bad at all.
Tanked up, but he's got 4 stims in the bag, so he can at least get up there. That grenade, though, fantastic. It's in the middle. He doesn't tag him up, but 2 players, they are damaged. Scoom onto T-Bone. Now it's Alliance who are going to fall victim in the northern area upon their rotation. Liquid, I like this. They're solidifying their position smack bang in the center of the map.
Yeah, it's scary being there because you could maybe take the wrong fight, open up flanks. We've seen that Avengers say on the desk before. Sometimes they overextend a little. They don't take the right fights sometimes, but for now they're looking okay in this.
Flames have just seen Jempty. They're shooting him in. He's on a vehicle down in the open. I'm watching the kill feed. They're all firing upon him in the background. Meanwhile, grenades there. Makendak does go down. Molman knocked, confirmed kill. Unfortunately, Chronix will take out Simplest on his team. Calvin Klein back onto Yannick, so Rogue now unfortunately will drop down. Jeems again, stamping authority, center of the map. That's Edu who does drop. Yannick dead as well. This kill feed's going wild. 2 players from Penta. They fall back to back. 50 players remaining. Everyone's bleeding out. Loads of players are damaged. And now the bodies are hitting the floor. Left, right, center. It's getting wild, but it's still Liquid who are center and fighting and stamping their name on this circle.
Yeah, let's have a little look at the terrain they're working from as well, because it's a little bit of a dip, but it's not much. They don't have huge amounts to play off. You can see a little bit of it there, utilizing the cars as a big piece of the cover, but you can see how many teams potentially could take fights on them, so you have to be very careful using this little bit of a ridgeline.
But with a team like Liquid being here A, so early, and B, lasting so long...
Wait, Method's surrounded as well. Look how many players are on that eastern side.
It's literally compound fights. Everything down on this southern area of the circle is compound fights. But just to touch again on Liquid, they know the lay of the land so damn well. The only reason they are here is because they played this map. They've gone over it time and time again. They know the best positions. But look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams. Rafi, Gilly Boy, Grozer on the back. More importantly, level 3 helmet. It's just like Terminator covered in a shroud of bushes. Grozer on the back. You get up close and personal to this boy, and he's going to destroy you. Chronix has killed his teammate. Yeah, okay, we'll kind of walk over that one. But Snack, that's the M24. That's a 4
Let's have a
times.
look. Let's see what he can do here. The thing is, as soon as he shoots that gun, it's pretty loud. And there's a lot of teams just over this ridgeline. Penta aren't far off. Fever again. There's the fire. Falls back into cover. He's doing all right for himself. Problem is the blue's actually against him here, so he's going to have to go towards the team who hold the high ground and the angles. So Fever's in a real predicament. He has to get a knock with this mini. That's what he's preying on before they have to move off. And then maybe it gives him enough room to work, but this nade could be a lot again. It's going to just keep him slowing him down. As soon as you hear it bounce, he knows he's in a bit of a troubling position. Stays alive, but there's a tag. That's him done for. You can't get away with it, but I don't think he can confirm the kill. He might try and overextend for that to try and get the points. And for now, Circle going to be locking in any second.
I mean, I kind of liked what he was doing. He was completely double stimmed up to the max. He was hoping the player would overextend and challenge him. You can see him hard peeking for a while. More importantly, him staying there has allowed his teammates just to kind of go off and do their own thing. They are staying alive with the Flames. They absolutely need a win to try and get back into this.
And I'm saying this, I really like Method's positioning here. I haven't looked at them. Oh, Rafi! The hip fire doesn't do it. His teammate helps him out there, but the confirmed kill should come in. But that hillside is still very treacherous. They're playing the slow side of the circle, going to work their way down. There's a lot of teams towards this side, but as I was saying, Method's positioning is nice. It's a little bit of an isolated house. I think it's possibly... It is the big compound they fought for early. Andy got the knock in there, and we saw him trying to jump through onto the window to try and get the kill. So, again, it's a nice little building to play off. The only issue with this compound now isn't anyone on that southern side. When that moves, you're in that horrible position of, do I go first? Do I go last? How do I not get shot in the back? So, as long as the circle stays slightly south, they're good. If it goes north, there's a lot of teams in trouble.
Being able to run out of these compounds is going to be all kinds of difficult, especially because of that hillside that's at the back. As soon as you go out of the back of the northern area of Georgia Paul, it's just a huge defilade, and everyone's just going to line up, stop you from moving further into the circle. The one player that I am concerned about is Jempty. He's going for a Burton. He's going for the run. I've just seen him on the bike. He's getting central, but he's going to run straight past Liquid. I'm looking at the map here. He's pulled up next to Liquid. This man has... I don't know. The grenades are going to come through thick and fast now. He needs to be very, very careful.
Oh,
one of them finds its target. Remember,
look at James.
It's a 3.5 meter kill zone from a grenade. These things are deadly.
But they can't overextend this time, Liquid, because they know that Knights aren't far. Oh, Lord. Drayden's doing it as well.
Oh, no, they're all
Jempty.
after him.
This is horrible.
No.
The nade's perfect from Drayden. Right to the lap, and that's FaZe done for. That is a huge fumble from FaZe.
19th position from the FaZe clan. Not what we expected from one of the world's best, but we move on. Singularity, one of them confirmed and killed Calvin Klein. Bruskull this time from Azako boards. He's down. Rafi again. He, I believe, is the one with the ghillie suit and the level 3s.
Yep.
Grenade goes through. He sees the smoke. He knows where they are. Can he connect, though?
Yes!
Beautiful.
That's a lovely bit of work. Big points being made there for him. Going to fall back again. And again, teams now looking for room. Knights, are they going to sweep this? God, Knights, this is dangerous. They're in between Alliance. You've got a bit of Flames up there, and Liquid still holds such great position.
I mean, between Knights and Liquid themselves, they could knock out another 2 teams here. Flames with 2, Sigsy last man standing. In the blue as well, so he'll be coming out of the blue completely damaged as he arrives to this party. He's going to be in all kinds of trouble. This one will begin to hurt now. He has to move, which he is doing, but still, I don't think he will get... Oh, no, there we go. We've seen him.
Sigsy! Oh, no,
no,
Sigsy.
No.
claws his way in. There's a little bit of a bush just to try and keep him safe. Liquid, who have you been talking to? All right, Liquid. We need to chat. All right, these circles, filthy. Knights are going for this, and that's a shot coming through, I think, or at least they're tagging them up. Can we get? I want to go on first perspective with these guys because they are being held back, and I can't see as to who. That's a third party. That's big. Liquid. How are they? Not only do they get circles, they get some saving teams helping them out because Knights were chomping at the bit. They wanted that fight. They were ready to just kind of go over on that. And Liquid, again, somehow get away with it.
They're still holding strong. Sigsy, he can hear people in the distance. He knows Ibby's right in front of him. He won't know it's Ibby, but he doesn't have to take it. He just needs to pray, sit down, hope for the best. Method, they get tagged up. Puffins comes back again, third-party system. Molman goes down. He's eliminated. He's dead. 8 safe from Gavran. 2 teams onto Method, the trapped, and we spoke about earlier. Andy Pyro's there as well. He's dead. It must now be literally Chris, last man standing again, coming out of these buildings.
It's a death trap.
It's a firing squad. Like, you're uphill. You need to go early. You can't sit on your laurels and sit back here. You're just going to die.
Game, right, Rich? This is the problem. It's always that kind of like, what do I want to decide to do? Do I go early and just risk being shot in the back, or do I wait late and then get caught by this with the blue chasing me down? Now you're going to have Rogue under the pressure. It's so tricky. It's a good position if the circle went south, but it doesn't. You've got to try and hedge your bets as best you can, and Method get punished off it. A lot of the other teams will do exactly the same thing. Method tried to move early, which I appreciate. I understand the theory behind, but it doesn't mean it's always going to work out.
There's going to be a big fight here. It's going to be between one member of Rogue, the last man standing, and Chris. That pretty much is going to solidify definitely position.
Oh my god.
Nowhere.
Sigsy, don't breathe. Just hold your breath. Right now. Hold your damn breath.
Wait, Fuffin's dead. Does that mean that all of Rogue have just been eliminated? That will actually, if he has, that means it opens up something slightly for Chris. It gives him
but look how many teams are in his way. They weren't like Rogue wasn't even really the kind of destroyers of Method. They were one of them. But again, it's such a tentative position. Now this is a nice bit of play on the AK, catching him with their pants down. Maybe a nade in hand. But Chronix does what he needs to, grow up still on the run, or it's just him. But as a solo player, that's some big points to be made, and Chris did get found in the end by Red Zone.
Method down. Red Zone. I think also potential. No, sorry, all 4 are up. It was another team on the red. Didn't quite catch who it was. Unfortunately, though, Moonwolf, they are now into the hands of Team 1 on that southern side. Red Zone still creeping in. Red Zone have woke up, and I like it. The grenade's there. It explodes. It now gives Knights the warning shot. The Blues on their back. It's going to force them into this engagement. They do have to go up, but Moonwolf with the UMPs. Look at all that damage. 1, they're gone. They're dead. Rustamar, Fick, Rafi, see you later, boys. Get off the server. They're deleted. He's
a one-shot. He's less than a one-shot here. He's praying that they don't find the right angle on him. Froz, you're going to have to move eventually. You've got to move up a touch. But Red Zone so far looking pretty good in this. I don't think Snake's going to go away too much here. It looks like he does have heals, but he's scared to use them. He's maybe worried about the angle. He's just trying to stay quiet for now. Does get the heal off, and he's the last standing bastion for his side. Liquid in these circles! What is this?
It's disgusting. That's what it is.
Someone spoil it. Someone.
Sigsy still clinging on for Alliance, though. He's made it into a top 10 engagement. God knows how. One with the bush.
Pray for Sigsy.
One with the bush, my friend.
Become the bush. Be the bush.
See the bush.
Easy.
He is the bush. But he's got to move still.
Yeah,
he is on the slower side, don't get me wrong. That might be the only saving grace, but look at where Liquid are. They know there are players still lingering in kind of in the distance. That's a knock, though. Samty's just been dinked from distance. Little Mini comes in, smashes him in the head, puts him down for now. That should be an easy res, though, at least.
Yep.
WTSG still kind of, we haven't seen, some people still may know them as Kinguin. They're not Kinguin now, they are WTSG, but not really seen the best of them so far. This is still one of Europe's best teams out there. I want to see more from them, but they are alive. They do have 3 going into these final circles.
Savage just did a really nice spray. Try him to claim it, but it was his team in the end. Good work. They can confirm the kill here, and that doesn't get stolen. You'll be laughing. It looks like they are punishing Red Zone as well. Ibby there in the back lines trying to get in on the action, but it's nice trying to breach forward, do what they can. I like how reserved Liquid have been with taking these fights, but it looks like the Flames are going to be working their way forward. Liquid are going to be under pressure now from a lot of sides.
Big nade. Big Gavran out of this one. Open up a gap so we can see Eleganta move into it now. That one will help Snack again.
Liquid are in trouble. Everyone's folding in. This time it's going to be huge. The Flames, the nade comes through, and the Flames need to work their way forward. You've still got Sigsy as well, hearing all this go down, being terrified of it. I can't get on.
WTSG's just been split. It's just been completely split from 2 different angles here. Third-party system. Hamster now.
This is great
Flames
from the
have woke
Flames.
up.
Suddenly. I mean, 60's now crawling his way forward. He has to get into the action eventually. He's going to have to stand up. You're hoping someone else takes a fight. You're hoping Pony... Oh my god, Pony Rider's doing the same thing! This is obscene! Hamster's got a bit of an angle on this. Ibby's found Pony Rider, but somehow 60 is... how is he doing that?
I have no idea, but he's going to have to shoot
Oh,
now,
he's
which
got
he does.
it! He's got to move forward! Oh, 60! Scoom and Ibby go down!
3 of them!
He's done so well! That is sick from him. He does get found in the end by Samty, but what a bit of impact play. He's just opened this up for every other team.
I mean, that's punishment, right? They've had the circle all this time, but they didn't check the back line. 60 snaked it in. He knocked 3 players from Liquid. That's so damaging. All right, Alliance go down, but still, an 8th place position is absolutely fantastic. Now it comes down to Samty. Jempty was the lone soldier before for FaZe. Can his brother do better here? Doesn't have a helmet, will be able to loot off his teammate's dead body, but the Knights know exactly where they are. Their grenades are starting to come through.
26 seconds until this one will be moving and everyone's in real trouble. These guys still have 4 players in this. Rich, this is huge.
7 kills here for Eleganton. Or Eleganton, should I say, excuse me. It is a bit of a tongue twister. K98. 2 times on the top. We've also got an M24, so the range is with these boys. I'm seeing AKMs on the back. Nasty weapon. 7.62 across the board goes for the UMP. Hits the deck as well. It's about 5 HP, begging for life.
Blue's starting to move, Rich. It's time for these teams to get a move on. They have just lost out on a player. I think they got tagged and then caught by the blue, but it's Samty finding Drayden. Big word from him. They know there's still at least 1 man alive from that side. Ibby's on it as well. They're fighting their way forward. Liquid are not done just yet. They want more of this. But look, oh, in the back lines. Eleganton might be in trouble, but he just somehow shrouds himself in smoke, and they hit the brakes. They don't want the fight anymore.
I think Frozen might be getting damaged from the blue here. I'll watch that kill feed to see if he is still inside. Zad's come back, though. He actually punished him. His teammate came across, didn't get the kill, knocks him out now. 5 teams remaining, 8 players alive going into the circle. And it's tiny, it's open field, it's hunting season, baby.
Can they get a revive? They're not in the circle. They are not in the circle yet either.
I didn't realize he got knocked again, to be honest with you.
This might be them done. I don't know how close that blue is right now, but here comes the play up coming in. I think that's why the Knights player's on the other side of this.
How did he get him?
I don't know. He's alive still, but they're right next to them. This is so close. 5 teams still alive. Samty just edges his way in.
Surely he sees them.
They don't, because the grass is there. This is well within the 200 meters. They have no idea. Unless someone crouches, moves, does something. This is on a knife's edge. This could all fall apart. As soon as one engages, everything starts to fall.
But he's not stupid. He knows if someone's going to be anywhere, it's directly in front of him. Nice to see Flames have made it into this final circle. But look at how many players. They're side by side. In fact, they're either side of it. He's laid in front of him. 1, 2, 3 players all in a line. So we've got 2 from Liquid, we've got 3 from Eleganton, WTSG in the back lines. We've still got Liquid in there. We've still got Flames.
And Knights.
Do you know who's kind of sitting lucky here out of everybody? It's Larson. He's the less engaged. This is just a complete fight waiting to happen. Everyone biding the time. Notice as well, everyone's been lobbing grenades.
No one's going to have them left.
Exactly.
10 seconds, Rich. Larson's going to be laughing in this situation. He doesn't know it. But he's got a nice little route forward as well. He can just follow that hedgerow. Happens to be the spoiler, but now here we go. It's going to all start to crumble. Kramer engages, takes down 1. They're losing up. He just lost to the blue.
Yeah,
he just died. Samty now on the run. He's just going to crouch it, work it forward a little, down to 4 teams, 6 players.
Eleganton, they've got 2 up in the back lines. If they see him crawling, Liquid, they are together.
Larson finds another. The team has the most players alive are being destroyed now. 5 players stand. Larson may have shown a little, but he keeps a lot. Working his way forward. The blue's on his back. He spots another. Sick play from Larson. And now Liquid hold all the cards, so they have the 2 players still alive. Hamster, you going to spoil it? He gets down Ibby. It's now a 1v1v1. Can he do any more? Larson hits the deck. He goes down. It's down to 2 teams. Samty's still alive. He needs to find this. It's the 1v1 Larson. He's going to spot him. Samty knows where he is, but when does he pounce? The blue now on his back. He needs to consider the timing. Larson's up again. Samty, the moment he crouches, it could be all over. Larson has no idea. Larson hasn't heard Samty shoot. He hasn't heard anything. Samty! Oh no, Samty's! Oh, he's dribbled it so hard.
That's a feels bad, man.
Oh no, Samty.
That's going to be a yikes from me, dog.
Not like this.
Not good. He was all
Not
kinds
like
of
this.
damage. I think he just misjudged it. He was panicking a little bit towards the end. But still, WTSG, we have to talk about it. This is their first win of this weekend. The old King Ring roster now showing their potential. All right, The glasses go on Larson. First win in the bag for the boys. Fantastic, fantastic work. Holds his nerve as the solo at the end, and they get the win.
I mean, alright, I'm done for the day already. I think I need a break after seeing how that one ended up. Guys, what do you think of that wonderful 1v1 at the end?
It was definitely interesting to say the least, and then a wonderful finish here by WTSG with their read of how the map was going to play out and their eventual win and victory. So WTSG getting themselves their first chicken dinner of the tournament and being able to push themselves a little bit up the rankings. A much deserved chicken dinner, and definitely in terms of those points, much needed as well.
They got the circle. They played it better this time. At the beginning, there was a little bit of a flub where we saw a rotation around the south. They considered taking that red house above Gatka. They ultimately settled in the garage, and from there went north of the river and played very, very well. Larson, yes, he won the 1v1 because the blue zone was just too strong, but prior to that, he took out the primary threat, which was El Gigantin, who just... They had everybody, and he managed to just take, I think, 3 of them down?
No, she got 2
okay.
because Kramer also got the other one on the table. And for me in this game, honestly, El Gigantin could have won this.
Yeah,
if
100%.
they played a lot more aggressive, taking control on the southern side, they could have won this game. But they play way too passive. They had 3 guys alive with 8 alive, and they saw so many names popping off in the kill feed. So they must have figured it must be a lot of solos and a lot of duos. Potentially, they were 4 pushing in, lost one to Knights. But again, it was solos and duos, and then 4 of the Gigantin guys.
That's the fear of those kind of fields, the wheat fields,
Yes.
right? You assume that, okay, I'm in a wheat field, everyone then starts lying down. They actually had a little bit of kind of terrain cover almost in terms of like a dip that they could have controlled that south side, right? But regardless of the fact, everyone's lying down at the end. WTSG comes out with the win. And one of the most important things I want to talk to you guys about during this game is reading the map and circle anticipation. Because we saw, once the circles had gone to Georgia Paul, focus there, we basically in the back know exactly where the next circle's going to go. Some of the teams read it very well. Some of the teams had a bit of a harder time getting to that spot.
Well, to be clear, we don't know it because they're telling us. We know it because we understand the circle settings. On the 4th circle, it moves away from water. It tries to eliminate as much water as is possible and continues from that place forward. 3 teams stayed in South Georgia Pole, knowing that the 4th circle was going to go north of it.
Yes.
We literally circled 3 potential circles, and Liquid, for example, went to that Dignitas ditch. They would have been in all 3 of the potential circles, and did a really great play from there. Unfortunately, Sigsy, super sneaky Sigsy, got in behind them and actually opened the game up for Gigantin boys, but they didn't capitalize on it.
Important to note as well, WTSG takes a very powerful compound there that does have a big hill up behind it, and it's quite easily holdable for them to then transition wherever the circle may go.
Yeah, so Knights we drove these 3 circles, which is possibly going where they could go. Knights was in the middle of one of them, Liquid was in the middle of the second one, and WTSG was in the middle of the third one. So complete map knowledge and complete circle setting understanding is key to victory here. Liquid in being in the better spot, yes, they were kind of in the middle, but they were under so much fire because everybody kind of came over the high grounds as well.
Correct.
And I think they got punished from that. And also Sixy coming out from behind, knocking 3 of them, and Samson just surviving that in the end.
The fact they never found him was ridiculous. That was like 2 full circles of ludicrous crawling, no more than 6-7 meters away from his opponent. So I don't know how he pulled that off. That was magic.
And the final moments of Samty does end up falling there. WTSG gets themselves the victory, and again, much needed points for them. We're seeing at the beginning here of the day, I feel that the competition is more hotly contested here at the beginning of the day with Red Zone. Now WTSG getting themselves chicken dinners as well, so they'll be moving up the ranks. But Team Liquid getting second place, they are extending their lead further and further and further. It's looking less likely for them to not get to Berlin here.
Yeah.
While Liquid solidifies first, the 2nd and 3rd place teams coming into this, as well as the competitors for that on day 1, are rapidly dropping down. We saw Blank go out in 15, Rogue goes out in 13, Method goes out in 11. So we're seeing a little bit of what we thought might happen. Some wildcard teams starting to push their way up as the chaos escalates, and some of the favorites sliding down.
And speaking of the favorites, the big kicker is FaZe. Because they went out early now. They went out early previous round as well. I think they're still going to be hovering maybe like the top 5 once we actually see the standings, but this is not a great start for them in day 2.
And also this kind of circle for FaZe is the roughest circles for FaZe.
Right.
And also because it was kind of a 60-40 or 55-45 chance of it going north or south.
Yes.
They took a bet on it going south. It did not work out. they also ended up in trying to go all the way around, coming in into a dip where they usually play, but Flames was there waiting for them, and only Gemty survived that coming in from the west. And then it shifted extremely much away from him.
Correct.
He had to go in with a bike, trying to go in as center as possible, but then Knights, they pushed in from behind, just eliminating him.
Especially rough as well, Toffees, when you are a team that is so focused on your drop position, when the plane doesn't 100% favor that, they're still very willing to, they went over to Multipower, then they have to move all the way back. It's a long time you're spending to go to those rotations.
I mean, it's the same thing that WTSG was facing yesterday, right? They were getting circles that were way off of them. Liquid was benefiting. Yeah, exactly. FaZe was having a good day, and now it's the opposite side, and FaZe is going to be struggling. So that is the risk. You drop in sort of a polar location like military base or Multipower or something like that, and when the circle doesn't favor you, that's the risk reward. You don't have as much time to loot, you don't have as much time to rotate, and you suffer.
Fantastic analysis, and we're going to analyze some more things in a fantastic fashion as well. Pineapple on pizza?
Never.
I mean, he's Hawaiian. In Denmark, we call it a Hawaii.
That's why I hate it. It has nothing to do with Hawaii.
All right, well, thank you. I'm absolutely no. But let's hear from some of our teams answering the ultimate question.
Pineapple with pizza. I think it's wrong. Like putting like a juicy fruit, right, on a pizza.
Pineapple on pizza? No words.
I don't really mind. Pineapple on pizza, that's enough for me. I can try it.
Yeah, I kind of like it a lot.
No fruits.
I like it. That's disgusting. Ham and pineapple, full Hawaiian.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
I like it.
It doesn't belong.
It's really good.
It's good if you. No way. Pineapple is to do other things.
No way, man.
We don't do that.
Nah, no way.
That's some American stuff.
It's not my first choice for a pizza. But
Why? Just why?
if someone puts a Hawaiian in front of me,
Yeah, you're down in that, all right.
yeah.
Dude, don't get me started on pineapple on pizza. It's
Pineapple
like,
pizza is great. As long as it's the right pizza, it's good.
I mean, it just...
I like it. What about you?
I got a pineapple on my arm.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
I'm not a hater. Not something I'd usually go for, but if it's on there, I'm not saying no.
It just
It
doesn't work.
works. It works. You just gotta have the right thing for it.
I
You
don't
can
know,
have
we might have
only
to find a
pineapple.
substitute for the tournament here.
I don't mind.
I hate it, and I hate people that eat it as well.
There's a love-hate relationship with it.
Glorious. I
Glorious.
love pineapple on pizza.
Yeah.
It's the best.
But you need to put banana on as well. Otherwise, it's fucked up.
I need shrimp.
Yeah.
Shrimp and
Shrimp,
bananas.
banana, pineapple. You can put some bacon
I
on
like
there.
banana, right?
Chicken.
Chicken is...
Yeah. Everything on it. Yeah.
Dude, we're Italians, man. No, of course not.
Yeah.
No,
he's Swedish, so he uses bananas. Pineapple, shrimp, ham, double cheese, chicken. It's good, it's good.
No words. No, man. I love it.
I like it. Pineapple on pizza is nice with bananas as well.
Bananas?
Yeah.
No.
It's bananas.
What that question? That question has no sense, man. He did. Yeah, and the barman took a picture of him. Like, he was like.
Imagine putting pizza on pineapple. Would you eat it?